You got Sean today?
He's supposed to be on, and I ain't heard from him.
Man, he might be out there protesting, man. Got his sign up. They don't know that dude gonna sit off for a year. He get his back paid. He be working for the NRA, a spokesman in critical kneeling defense.
Okay, give me 1 second. Here we go.
Man, you see that picture of that big hog my friend killed out in Long Barrels in Atlanta, Texas?
Hey, welcome to the Real Man Talk Show, where we talk about problems and solutions. And tonight, I got some special guests. I got my co-host, Nikel Lewis, out of Oklahoma City. And I got my other co-host out of San Antonio, Pastor Greg Short. And we got a special guest that's going to be on here later on talking to us about how to become a gun dealer, as well as what he's been doing since he's been a gun dealer and how he got into the industry. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight on the Real Man Talk Show. Thank you for joining us. Excuse me. Gentlemen, what's up? How y'all been doing?
Hey, blessed, man. Blessed to be above ground. Can't complain.
I can't complain. Blood sugar deal went down. The AC was, hell, I can't complain, yeah.
What, to what? To what?
Oh, it got up to about a 9. It's down to about a 6, 9. So
good job, man.
We getting close.
Good job. What have you done differently to change that up, man?
Oh, hell, I just quit drinking sweet tea.
That'll do it.
Well, since I don't smoke or drink, I love sweet tea and orange juice. I didn't realize orange juice spiky like that.
You know what, man? Last year when I got diagnosed, that's when I found out how much sugar orange. I've been told orange juice had a lot of sugar, but I didn't realize how bad orange juice was.
Didn't know, man, because I drank me a big cup on the way to work and another one at lunch. And then sweet tea behind it.
Yeah, so since then I didn't cut back on a lot. Matter of fact, I don't drink really a lot of juice no more. If I drink juice, matter of fact, I water it down now, man, if I drink it.
Man, I done got where I can drink the diet tea and the water and just call it a day.
Wow.
Does it count if you water it down with Hennessy?
Wow.
Man, did you see that picture of the hog the friend of mine killed out in Atlanta, Texas?
Man, that was a big hog. We was talking about that a couple days ago. So I thought it was some old news.
I go out in that area sometime because I got a couple sites out there I go, but I'd seen them, but not like that.
Wow.
Because out there, once you got in these Texas, you'll see them just running everywhere.
Right.
They're out there like birds.
Did he end up keeping it?
No. Those, he said those, I guess it tore up a bunch of property out there.
Okay.
You know, because they'll go through and just root up everything. So he just get rid of them. Wow. He might have made a trophy out of the head or something. I don't know.
You know, when they get that big, it seems like that meat get tough.
Yeah, he said it ain't no good because he kind of lives off the land. So he hunts a lot of meat and, you know, gets it all ready. But he said that ain't nothing you want. He one of them survivalists. You know, they live off the land.
Yeah, man, we still gotta set up a hog hunt. You know, we tried to set it up earlier this year, they didn't go, but we still need to set something up, man, to do some hunting.
Between being black and Corona, they might not want us out there. Man, no. Y'all, we have to let y'all go. Y'all getting violent now.
You got a point. You got a point.
Maybe say y'all ain't gave the hog something. We need to get y'all out of here.
So, man, back to what you were saying. You was talking about your 10 millimeter. Tell us a little bit more about the 10 millimeter, because I know earlier this year when you and I was talking, and I was looking for ammo, that was one of the ammos that was able to be found in some of the stores was the 10 millimeter.
Yeah, but it ain't now. You can't find none now. That and 5.7, and I've got a 5.7, and I got the FBI rounds from that same guy out in East Texas. Because see, when you like that 5.7 and that 10 millimeter, those rounds are hard to come by. Which I've got a couple thousand rounds of 5.7, but the black tip and red tip was only for the FBI and the military.
Oh.
And civilians, a green tip you can somewhat get, but you really ain't supposed to have it, but they really can't do nothing because I guess the FBI was getting shot with it with people, so they sort of banned it because it goes through body armor.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I got lucky and got a couple boxes of that, and then he gave me a couple more boxes of the green tip, the red. But that ammo, like 10 millimeter, I haven't seen none, and it's been ever since this stuff happened. I ain't been able to find none.
Wow.
Last time I got 10 mil, I ordered it. I had to order it online and wait.
Yeah, it's ammo in Oklahoma. If you go to like Big Boys and some of these other ones, you can get ammo, but Academy, nothing. I think they're hoarding ammo, waiting.
Oh yeah, well you know you got those daggone people that what do they call them that prepare for the those prepared those guys there. They buying it lock, stock, and barrel.
Yeah, see, I've been lucky. I had already had 3,000 or 4,000 rounds of each caliber I got, so I kind of could just add. Because I got ammo, I ain't even got nowhere to put some of it yet.
Like that?
Well, you kind of, when they buy it, you better be buying it.
Hey, you got to get it when you can get it. Sometimes you see a sale, you don't need it, but it's on sale, you pick it up.
Yeah. Because like I said, I know folks that's stacking it in the military cans now.
Yeah.
You got so much. And the thing about, unfortunately with us, we late to the race because they already been doing it.
Yeah.
When we get to the party, it's in the you know, they about to play the last song, Luther Vandross, when we showed up to the party.
Well, that's true.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but you take, like that stimulus check was sad, and I kind of blame old Michael Jordan. He released them tennis shoes with that series, and they said it was folks standing, I seen pictures of folks standing in line for hours. Tennis shoes. But I guess if something happened, just throw them shoes at them.
They rubber hurts.
I mean, it's pretty crazy when you see people just to watch people doing that. Maybe it's just me. I don't want to put them down, but maybe it's just me. I just don't see paying $4 for a pair of tennis shoes in the situation we in now. Look at meat now. Briskets are $100 up here.
Are you serious?
Oh,
yeah, but I got a meat butcher that I go to, but just going in Chris, 10 hamburger patties are like $20 now. So I can imagine what they are with y'all in Houston.
I would think that'd be much cheaper, but I haven't really priced it.
Well, they said, remember, with the coronavirus, these meat packing places are
closed down.
There's meat here, but no one to process it.
Right. You know what's unique? I've been having this conversation with quite a few people, and it's amazing because there's different challenges in different places. So, for example, when this COVID-19 started, up there in Oklahoma City, my family members was telling me they was having problems finding beans, rice, and toilet paper.
Yeah.
Down in here in Houston, that wasn't the issue down here. The issue down here, we was having problems finding certain ammos, peroxide. Matter of fact, I yet to find a bottle of alcohol.
No, you still can't. Well, lucky the company I work for makes chemicals, so they ship me some from Lafayette.
Okay.
But yeah, that type of stuff, you still can't really find alcohol here.
Look,
Ammo is scarce unless you know the right people. Ammo is scarce in Oklahoma.
Wow.
Yeah, hey, look, for a while, toilet paper was a new world currency.
Yeah. Had folks out hunting at 2 in the morning.
I'm telling you, hey, that 2-ply was going for premium price, baby.
But I'm not convinced that the way things are going with jobs, how long before it caves with some of these people?
It's gonna be a give point, and you get to a point where you hit a pivot point. You have to do or die, and so we're getting close to that pivot point, and it's not a bad thing, but it's how we preserve ourselves when we get to that point.
Yeah.
Right.
You know things is bad when the car dealership will give you a new car and you don't make payments for a year. That tells you things are bad.
Oh yeah.
We will pay the time and let you roll around for a year.
Yeah, it's called guaranteed money. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm banking on this year, but next year I'm trying to build my books for next year.
That's true. You know, and if you look at oil, it's gradually going up.
Going back up.
Which it won't be long. Them $2 gas price gonna be $4 and $5 probably. There's another problem.
I see that happening later this year. I see that possibly happening. Jobs
ain't coming back for everybody. Because if I'm a company, if I can run on 70%, what I'm gonna bring them other ones? I need to get my money. These folks gonna get their money back.
Well, you know what's gonna hurt the job industries also. Industries are learning that people can work from home and be just as productive.
Very true. And that saves them on workman's comp, toilet paper, coffee.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. All them supplies, buildings.
Yeah.
So, and remember the key. If you become self-contracted, they don't have to have insurance on you. Like you got
true.
Interesting.
That's it.
It's a lot of, take like me, it's only me in Oklahoma, so they ain't got no overhead with me and a salesman. But most of these companies, they're going to operate on 70% because you mark down, Donald Trump and his goons going to get their money back.
That's true.
They going to get their money back. Rich people don't get broke. They don't get rich for, being honest most of the time.
Well, gentlemen, with that being said, man, to you all that's on Facebook that's watching us, I'm having some issues with Facebook. You can join us at The Real Men Talk, which is my other site. Or you can follow me right here, but follow me right here. You won't get to see the panel and the guests that I have up here. And I have a special guest that we're bringing on tonight. So you can follow us at The Real Men Talk. Go to The Real Men Talk on that Facebook channel, and you can follow and see the panel and the cast. But with that being said, I got a special guest on tonight, man. I've been trying to get this guy on for the longest. It's very unique how him and I even met, because after the Million Man March, I wanted to get very active in my community, so I started doing some things and ended up signing up for a license, handgun license, concealed permit, and went to this particular restaurant that we have called This Is It. If you ever come to Houston, there's a Black-owned restaurant that's been there for a long time, and they do a lot of things in the community, and a lot of the celebrities and stars go there. But when I went to this place, I ended up going in there thinking I was going to the right place, sat down with these guys, to find out I was in the wrong group, but they invited me to breakfast. So I was there like an hour early, so I sat there and partake with them in breakfast, and just so happened they had a prestige organization that I was looking to join. Just so happened it was in that place, And pretty much what these guys have been doing is raising money and giving high school graduates scholarships. So because of that, I ended up becoming a part of that organization and then end up becoming friends with the guest that I'm bringing on, which is Mr. Ron Bars. And since then, him and I have built a relationship, man, where he's like a mentor as well as like a father figure to me. But at the same time, he's into guns. So he's actually a gun dealer. So that was my first time actually meeting a local gun dealer as well as a Black-owned gun dealer. And I know we talked about this a couple of times. So I finally was able to get him on the show so he can talk about his experiences. He's been a gun dealer. And the way he got into becoming a gun dealer was just fascinating because it wasn't for monetary reasons. It was just to become a gun dealer. But I'm going to let him tell you about that. Mr. Bars, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very good, sir. How's everything, HT?
Good, good. See, we got your video on. Do we got your video?
You're going to have to walk me through it now. I'm on my Android. I see you in the lower right-hand corner of my phone.
Now you look near your microphone, and maybe another thing that says video, and you should be to start your video.
Yes, it's red.
Okay, see if you can click it.
Okay. It says the host has disabled it.
Okay, okay, there we go. It's my fault.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. Hey, Mr. Bars, how you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. How y'all doing today?
Good, sir.
Great.
Good.
Sir, great to be a part of your group discussion. Yes, so HT and I had met under those circumstances, and it's been a great friendship since. But anyway, so we were talking about how to become an FFL. Actually, gentlemen, I kind of just stumbled into it. My main thrust, to be quite honest, was to be able to buy my collection wholesale. HT knows this about me. I'm a cheap brother. I say my motto is nobody can spend my money better than myself. So as much of my money as I can keep to myself, the happier I am. So anyway, I was trying to figure out how I could buy my own weapon at a wholesale price. And so I said, well, one way to do it is to become a federal firearms licensee. And that's what I did. So the process is relatively easy. I was telling HT, the main thing is, and I'm sure most of you guys are military, ex-military, you just have to have a clean record, no felonies, and then you simply apply for a federal firearms license through ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearm. I was trying to recall how much my initial application fee was, and I was telling HT, I know my renewal is only $90. When it's time for me to renew, because I just sent in my renewal form, and it cost me $90. But the initial application, I'm trying to recall how much it is. I think the best thing to do probably is just to go on the website and Google how much it is to pay your initial application fee. You get the form from the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms people. Or you can go to atf.gov, or you can just Google how to become an FFL, and it'll pretty much walk you through that process. But anyway, so basically, once you are licensed, of course, you've got to fill out a fingerprint form. They tell you have to go to your local police station and get this fingerprint form. That was then. I'm not sure how the process works now. Most of this stuff you can probably just download off the internet. But if you should decide to, you can go to your local police department and get a fingerprint form. When you're filling out your application, of course, they do have to have your fingerprints. You know, your mailing address. They're going to ask you all the pertinent questions: marital status, local address. When I first applied for my FFL, I actually had a printing business. as in business printing machines. I used to be what's called a small job printer. So I used my print shop location. I used that as my location for my FFL. However, I have since then moved my business, and every time you change address, you have to fill out another form with ATF, change of address form, because that change of address form, that determines what your FFL number is going to be. Once I fill out a change of address form, my FFL number actually changed. Anyway, once that was done, so if you're in a particular neighborhood like I am now, I no longer have a storefront. At the time that I had my printing business, I actually had a storefront. But now I no longer have a storefront. I am a home-based business now. Once you apply as a home-based business, there are different parameters. Your local civic club association, your president has to approve your application in that you're going to be running a business out of your home. And I'll share this with you. When I initially applied to have a home-based business, I had a person who was president of the civic association that told me, no, sir, you cannot run that kind of business out of your home. Of course, his neck was kind of red, and come to find out, he really didn't want me to have a business out of my home now. Of course, as I told him, I said, sir, I'm not going to be having a lot of traffic because this is my personal home. I said, I'm mostly going to be selling to family and friends, which is really pretty much what I do now. I mostly sell to family and friends. But the good thing about it is, if I decide I want to buy an AR-15, I'm registered with about 5 different manufacturers, and all I do is call in. I've already submitted my credit with those businesses, and I have pretty much a 30-day account, more or less, that I can order anything I want to.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Bars.
Yes, sir.
You've been doing this for quite some time. What has been the major benefit to you in regards to being a gun dealer versus us as not a gun dealer?
Yes, sir. The major benefit, HT, is what I keep saying, what I keep harping on. I can buy my pistols, my rifles, my not so much ammo, because ammo is like I was listening to one of the gentlemen when they said you have to buy your ammo whenever it's available. So sometimes they put certain ammo on sale. Your best bet is to hoard it, is to be ready when it's on sale.
Right.
But the biggest plus is just being able to buy whatever you want to buy wholesale. I get magazines all the time, and of course, because I am a federal firearms licensee, they send me magazines all the time, and they have the wholesale price for me. So if I'm selling a Glock, I can go on the website for the manufacturer. They may have 2 websites. They may have a website for the general public, and then they have a website for the people who are such as myself, who have an FFL, and you're getting a special price. So the benefit, gentlemen, is to be able to buy your weapons, your handguns, your rifle at wholesale prices. That was my initial, as I say, remember, I'm cheap. So I'm saying, how can I buy this? How can I buy this Glock that's retailing now for somewhere close to $700? How can I buy this Glock at wholesale prices? So
let me ask you this, Mr. Barnes. Do you care to share some of your wholesale prices just to give us a better understanding?
As a matter of fact, I was just about to do that. For example, I have about a week ago, I ordered a little 9mm Walther, Walther, Walther. Some of y'all are familiar with it. That's a German-made pistol, a very nice pistol, German-made.
Yes, sir.
My price on that Walther is $199.99.
Now, do you happen to have that PPK one, the James Bond one?
No, sir. And thanks for asking me that because remember now, if you can't remember my name, just remember cheap. That guy's cheap.
You can't find you can rarely find the 380 for less than 800 in that James Bond.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm a gentleman. HT knows me well. I'm cheap. I wish I could afford something like that. I was looking down at this, and some of those pistols, like you said, I saw some pistols that were over $2,000. I'm not a collector. If any of y'all decide you want to buy something from me, I order per my customer demand. So I had a customer. I will share this with you. I had a customer about 2 weeks ago whose name shall remain anonymous. And he said, "Sir, I'm looking for a 357." I said, "Well, very good." I said, "Did you have a manufacturer in mind?" He said, "Yes." He said, "I like Smith & Wesson." I said, "Well, you're doing very well." I said, "Because Smith & Wesson makes an excellent pistol." So he said, "Well, I want either a 3-inch or a little over a 3-inch barrel." I said, "Okay, let me check around and see what's available." Oh, and incidentally, gentlemen, right now, most pistols are not available right now because what has happened is this virus.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Believe
high
it or not,
capacities are
people, not you all. I'm not talking about you all, but generally people are scared. They're running scared. And one guy asked me, he said, "Well, why are they scared of the virus?" I said, "Because they're scared to die." And so they're scared to die. So they said, "Well, I need some more ammo and I need some pistols and I need a rifle." And so there's been a run on everything. It's not quite as bad as when President Obama was in office. But of course, you all know when President Obama was in office, they had all kind of lies circulating on him saying, "Man, this guy is going to take away your ability to own a rifle, a gun, and ammo." You couldn't get 22 bullets when Obama was in office.
You know what I'll say, Mr. Barr?
Yes, sir.
Anytime a Democrat gets in office, ARs go out the roof.
Yes, sir.
High capacities and ARs go out the roof.
You're correct. You're absolutely correct.
If you remember when Obama was in, people were selling ARs for 15 to two grand.
Okay.
And they were buying them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because people were running scared. They thought, well, I've been wanting to get that. I better get it now because this guy is getting ready to shut everything down. And of course, it was a lie. It was propaganda. But it worked well for the gun industry. I mean, they made so much money during Obama's administration. They should have sent Obama a check.
The gentleman I buy guns from told me he hated Obama.
Really?
I said, "Well, Steve, how could you hate a man that just bought you a $500,000 house, RV, blah, blah, blah?" And he kind of looked at me. I said, "Hey,"
exactly.
But here's the problem. Now, before this virus, his gun sales was down.
Okay.
Until the virus hit.
Exactly. Well, you're proving my point. You're proving my point. I have a customer right now waiting. He wants a Glock. Glocks are not available right now.
Wow.
There are a few AR-15s available right now, but again, certain pistols are not available right now.
Yeah, that's true. Me and Greg were just talking about that. It's a run for if you can find it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So what I do, I'll call. As I said, I'm in touch with about between 4 and 5 manufacturers that I buy my firearms from. And if I have a customer looking for a certain thing, I'll call 3 or 4 of them and say, "Look, put me on a wait list for such and such and such." And then when it comes in, they'll call me and they'll say, "Okay, we now have what it is that you were looking for." Wow. And that's pretty much how it's been going right now. Anyway, let me get back to my original story. So the guy,
Mr. Barnes, before you go in that story, we're gonna take a quick break. Okay. Hey, you all that's tuning, thank you for joining to the Real Man Talk Show. We're here talking with our special guest, Mr. Ron Bars, who's a local Houstonian gun dealer, and we're talking about gun talk tonight. At this time, we go pay homage to our sponsors who have sponsored the show tonight. So give us a minute as we do that, and we'll come back.
Welcome to Houston Jewelry, the fastest and most efficient mobile notary service. Houston Jewelry prides itself on following up with their customers and making them feel at ease. Houston's Notary has the finest notaries that provides many services such as loan closings, fingerprints, cash outs, affidavits, wills, trust, power of attorneys, employment verification, documents for immigration, and legal documents. Wow. So many services that all you have to do is call toll free 1-844-292-5562 or 713-956-6485 or visit houstonsnotary.com. Let us be your notary.
That's one of our sponsors. And
we're talking about
okay. Once again, you all, thank you for joining. We here with Mr. Ron Barnes, our special guest, as well as my co-host, Greg Short, and Mr. Nikhil Lewis. And we was talking about, Mr. Barnes was sharing his story in regards to how he became a gun dealer, as well as talking about the benefits to being a gun dealer. And I'm gonna let him continue his story. He was starting his story. Mr. Barnes, go on and continue the story that you was talking about in regards to the wholesaling, as well as you got a particular weapon, I think at $190 wholesale price.
Right.
Retail right now.
Yes, sir. The last pistol, well, one of the last pistols I bought was a Walther 9mm. Let me tell you exactly what it is. See if I can find that paperwork. But anyway, it wholesales for, my cost on it is $199.99. And you're looking at a markup. You can figure a markup. I tell you what, a lot of times I will call around to make sure I'm competitive. So I will always call or go online to Academy, because if I can compete with Academy's prices, I'm doing very, very well, because Academy's prices are generally very low.
Okay.
Anyway, the Walther that I paid $199.99 for, it retails for $399.99.
Wow.
So you're looking at usually on a fairly, well, I would consider that relatively inexpensive. $300 is relatively well, $200, $199.99 is relatively inexpensive. I'm sorry, the Walther I paid I said $199. I paid $299.99, gentlemen. That's a correction. I paid $299.99. It retails on Academy's website for $399.99. So you're still looking at about $100 markup. So one of the gentlemen was talking about the AR-15s. Depending on the time of year you're trying to buy one, I guess it's like anything else. The demand determines what the price is going to be. If these manufacturers determine that something is in high demand, of course, the price goes up. I have some real good deals right now on the AR-15s. They call it an AR-15 kit. And being a kit means that it doesn't come complete. There are about 3 parts that you have to order additionally, but even so, you can purchase an AR-15 now for a little under $1,000, probably close to around, probably in the high $800 range, an AR-15, which is really not a bad price.
So is that considered the ghost gun?
No, that's not a ghost gun. You're talking about You're talking about being able basically to build your own, like you can order a receiver, and then you can order an upper receiver or a lower receiver, and then start putting a gun together. That's what they call a ghost gun.
Because they're trying to stop that now.
Say that again.
They're trying to stop it.
They are trying to stop that because, see, the government wants to be able to trace every firearm that's sold. HT, you asked me a little while ago what the advantage of being an FFL. Let me tell you the disadvantage of being an FFL. Every firearm that I sell, I have to put in what's called my hardbound book. And that is, I have to put in my book the name, the address, the date the weapon was bought, the date it was sold, the person that bought it, their address, their driver's license number. And I have to also, when I sell something, just like when you all go to buy something, you have to fill out the form of 4473, which is an ATF form, which I know all of y'all are familiar with it, but that form has to be filled out by me. Then, additionally, as an FFL, I have to call into the FBI. They call it the NICS department, which is the department that does the background check on every person that I sell a firearm to. So I can't just sell a firearm like you can. If you are not an FFL, y'all can buy and sell firearms and you don't have to keep records. So that's the disadvantage of being an FFL. I have a federal firearms license, therefore I am bound by law to annotate every sale, every firearm that I sell to every person that I sell. Then once I call that person's name in, they ask certain particular questions off of that 4473 form, and I have to answer those questions per that form that they filled out. And they will tell me one of three things. They'll tell me to proceed, or they'll tell me to delay. And the last person that I called in a background check on, they told me to delay. Now you never know why the delay is, because they don't tell you why. They'll just say delay, and they'll say if you don't hear from us by a certain date, you may sell this firearm, and they'll tell you may sell a firearm by a certain date. Normally, when I get a delay, the FBI will usually call me back the next day, and they'll tell me, Mr. Bars, you may now proceed. And there's a special number, a special code that they give me. All that has to be on that 4473 form. The other disadvantage of being an FFL, ATF can literally come to my house anytime they want to, unannounced. Unannounced. They've been here before, and they will not call me and say, Mr. Bars, we're going to make an inspection today. So they came. One time a black female came. Another time, the last time they came to my home, it was a white guy, very nice. He rang the doorbell. I went to the door. He shows me his identification. He's from ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. He says, sir, I am the representative from Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and we want to check your books. And of course, I'm not a criminal, so I don't get upset. I said, okay, no problem. Come on in. I let him in. We go sit down, and I go get my hardbound book. And he has the right to look through my hardbound book. He has the right to ask, sir, I need to see your 4473 forms. I have a special folder of every 4473 that I've collected since I've been doing this. I've been doing this probably over 15 years now. I've had probably I've had at least 4 home inspections unannounced from ATF. Also, the application, when you file your application for an ATF, you have to list your hours of operation. So if you're listing your hours, let's say from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, then ATF can come to your house between 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Of course, I show my business 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I think on Saturdays I show 9 to noon or something like that. I show closed on Sundays. So whatever your working hours are, I said they can come anytime. But generally, they want to come during your working hours that you have placed your working hours on your application. You're saying whatever the name of your business is. My business is called Lone Star Gun Depot. So for Lone Star Gun Depot, they know that my business of operation is from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, limited hours on Saturday and closed on Sunday. So they can literally come and ask to inspect my records anytime during my business hours.
Mr. Barnes, let me ask you this for those out there that's listening, because we have people that's always looking for ways to make extra money or start a new business.
Yes, sir.
Would you say, since you've been in business, or would you say this business that you're in, can it be a lucrative business? What one might want to consider starting their own, becoming their own gun dealer?
HT, that's an excellent question. Gentlemen, let me say this to you, and I'm going to be quite honest with you. First of all, I didn't get in this business to make money. I got into this business so I could buy my stuff cheap. I'm cheap, remember? My name is Cheap. So I wanted to be able to say, okay, I want a Glock for my personal use. My personal use weapon, which is on the side of my bed right now, is a Glock 45. And it's loaded. And it's on the side of my bed. I don't have any young children, so I don't have to worry about young children getting a hold of my firearm.
Is that a pastor choice?
Okay. Now, if you're really serious about trying to make money in this business, you need a location. Because number one, in order to get traffic in your front door, you need a brick and mortar location. You could rent an office space at a storage facility. Some of these storage facilities rent office spaces. But what I'm saying is you need a location if you're really going to be serious about the business, because most people want to be able to come to your place of business. And here's the deal with me, gentlemen, and perhaps ladies. I don't want just anybody coming to my home. So I'm very particular about who I invite to my home. Usually it's family and friends, or in some instances, it's a referral from a friend. Because like I say, okay, another way you can make money in this business is by transfers. I had a guy about 2 weeks ago. He said he wanted, the same guy that I was telling you, told me he wanted to buy a 357. He wanted to buy a Smith & Wesson. I said, well, that's a good choice. Let me see if I can find one. I located one with one of my manufacturers. The manufacturer said, yes, sir, we have them. I can send it to you. I said, well, let me make sure that my customer wants this. So I got back with the customer. I said, sir, you wanted a 357. You wanted it with a 3-inch barrel. And I think this one might have been chrome or whatever. But anyway, the pistol, it retailed for right at $700. Gentlemen, as I said, I'm cheap. I don't keep all this stuff at my house, because I only order what somebody tells me they want. If it's for me, then it's in my safe. It's in my gun safe. But if it's for a customer, then I'm ordering it. I'm ordering what the customer told me he wanted. Anyway, this gentleman said, yes, sir. I want a 357. I want a Smith & Wesson. I called him back. It's okay. I found it. It's available. It's going to cost you right at $700. That's tax, title, and license, everything. And he said, well, sir, what do I have to do in order to get it? I said, sir, the only thing you have to do with me is just tell me you want it. And he said, I want it. Let's do it. I said, no problem. Let me get with my people. Let me get with my peeps. I get back, my peeps get with your peeps. I get back to you. So that's what I did. So I called the manufacturer. I said, look, send it to me ASAP. My customer wants it. This is generally a 2-day turnaround when I order. If you order it on a Monday, usually by that Wednesday, I'll have it in my hand. And so I called the guy back. I said, sir, you have to fill out a 4473. I said, you can do it one of two ways. You can either fill the form out here at my home, or you can download the form off the internet, fill it out, and then email it to me. Well, he chose the latter. He filled it out, emailed it to me. I got it. I perused it. I said, good, we're good to go. I noticed you don't have a concealed carry. If a person has a concealed carry permit, I do not have to call the FBI to do a background check, because with that concealed carry permit, you have already been pre-approved. You've got a number on that concealed carry permit, which means that simplifies my paperwork. I don't even have to call the FBI if you have a concealed carry. Well, this guy didn't. So I said, well, I've got to do a call in to the FBI so they can do a background check, which is what I did. And when I called it in, they told me delay. And they said, we'll get back to you. If you don't hear from us within a certain day, you can sell it. I waited. FBI called me the next day. They said, Mr. Bars, you may proceed. And so that means that I'm now free to sell that 357 Smith & Wesson to this guy. So I said, sir, I have your pistol in my hand. I said, matter of fact, it looks good. I want it myself, but I can't afford it, but I got it. He said, okay, great. Then he says, sir, do you take credit card? I said, sir, I'm sorry. At this time, I said, I told you I'm a small.
Hey, Mr. Bars.
Yes, sir.
Your audio kind of went out. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but it kind of fainted out.
Okay. Let's see. Is that any better?
Nah.
I wonder what happened.
Let me see something. Let me do this right quick. Let me mute you. And
Trump supporter got you.
Hey, them people listening in.
Yeah, Trump got him.
Let's see. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but it's very faint. It's like your mic that went out.
Okay, so I'm still on the same Android phone. My battery is still high. I'm at 86%. Tell me what I need to do, HT. My volume is maxed out on my phone.
Yeah, I think it's something wrong with your mic, because there's nothing wrong with the system. I don't know. It could be Android, but we can hear you. Just letting you know it's kind of faint.
Okay, then I'm putting the phone closer to my mouth.
Good.
That's a little better.
Okay, listen, if y'all hear anything funny, it's because bad breath. I'm sorry. Anyway, this phone I'm almost kissing the phone right now. But anyway, so anyway, I said, sir, I'm a small home-based business. I said, I'm sorry, I'm not equipped to take credit cards right now. And he said, well, that's where I was planning on paying you. I said, sir, well, I apologize. I said, but, I think you could probably take your credit card to your bank and get a cash advance on it. And to this day, I have never heard from that gentleman again.
Wow.
And I was extremely disappointed because I ordered the pistol for him. I did a background check. And then he said, well, but he did apologize. He said, I'm sorry, we didn't discuss this before. We didn't discuss it earlier. So generally, I know there's a way that I can accept credit cards. I can do it through a company called Square. But I look, again, I do mostly family and friends. And I've never been set up to accept credit cards. And so his attitude, I really didn't understand him at the 11th hour pulling out on the deal. And so the good thing for me is I really like the pistol. I started to keep it myself, but I actually have a manufacturer that gives me at least a 3-day opportunity to peruse whatever the weapon is. And if I don't like it or if I don't want it, I can send it back. And because I have a good relationship with my manufacturers, this particular pistol, I called my salesperson and he said, listen, I'm going to send you a RMA. It won't cost you anything. And I sent that. I hated to do it, but I sent that Smith & Wesson back. I really wanted to keep it for myself. But again, gentlemen, I'm cheap. I don't just keep a whole bunch of pistols hanging around my house. Okay. The thing that I didn't mention to you is, as an FFL person, you do have to have a gun safe in your house. So when the ATF comes to your premise to check you, you do need to have a safe because they want you to keep all your weapons that you're selling. They want that stuff to be locked up under lock and key. And I do have a gun safe for that. Now, HT, you asked, can it be a lucrative business? Yes, it can be a lucrative business, but if I was serious about
There you go.
if I was serious about trying to make money, I would need to have a location where customers could just drive up and come and look to see what I have and see if they really were serious about wanting to buy it. You know, it's something about the ability to come into a business and look around. If they look around and see, oh, wow, what is that? You know, oh, that's an AR-15, or that's whatever. If they have the ability to come to a physical location and come in and look around to see what products you have, of course, they may be coming to look around to see how easy it is to break into your business also. Right. You do know that there have been a large number of break-ins to gun dealers' businesses. That's another downside of being an FFL. If you do have a brick and mortar place, that something going to better be secure, or you shouldn't leave your firearms where they can be stolen.
Good point.
Because the thieves will find a way to break into your business.
Good point. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Bars. Greatly appreciate it, and love the background and the story and the information you have given the audience. I want to ask my co-hosts, Brother Greg and Brother Nikhil, y'all have any questions, man, or any comments?
Yeah, I've got a question. So if you have your FFL, then you still have to have your concealed permit to carry, correct?
No, you do not. No, as an FFL, you do not have to have a concealed carry permit. The only thing as an FFL you have to do is that you have to have a safe at your home. And we're talking if you're a home-based business, you will have to have a gun safe. You'll have to have those forms, those 4473 forms. And when you apply, they'll probably send you a couple of hundred of those forms that you'll have, because every sale you have to fill out that 4473. You need to keep excellent records though. And when I first started, I wasn't as organized as I should be. And my wife, of course, is more organized than I am, and she helped me organize myself. We started putting our stuff color coded. Like for the year 2020, I've got a color coded envelope for 2020. The previous year, I think this year it might have been red. Last year it might have been a different color. Little things that help you. And we put the year on each folder. Your invoices, you need a binder for your invoices. Again, I have between 4 and 5 manufacturers that I deal with, and so when I order something in your hardbound book, you want to notate the date you received the particular firearm. If you receive it on June 1st, if June 1st was a Monday, then you say received June 1st, and then you have to also put a date in there when you sold it. I received it on June 1st, I sold it on June 5th, and so forth and so on. But no, to answer your question, sir, you do not have to have a concealed carry permit to be an FFL.
So the second part of that question, Mr. Barr, is now does that apply intra or interstate? Can you travel from state to state?
Excellent question. Excellent question. No, you cannot. So I'm only I only have the ability to sell in the state of Texas. I have relatives who live in Louisiana, and they actually wanted to buy some firearms from me. I'm limited. I can't sell to people in Louisiana. Now, if he had a home, let's just say he had a vacation home in Texas, then I could sell to him. But I can't sell to Louisiana. Some of these laws have some flexibility, because I think some states you can sell to other states, but I know for me as an FFL, I can't sell to my relatives in the state of Louisiana. So you do have some limitations. So you're pretty much restricted to the state that you have been permitted to sell in. So I'm restricted to Texas.
I know if I purchased a gun from Texas, I would have to have it shipped back to Oklahoma. I couldn't pick it up there.
Right. Okay. Excellent point. And so this is the last guy who was ordering this Smith and Wesson 357. This is what he said. He said, I found that pistol cheaper on the internet.
Bud's gun shop, probably. Bud's and King's Firearms.
But you know what? I didn't even ask. I didn't really want to know. But you know what I wanted to tell him? I wouldn't do it, but this is what I wanted to tell him. Buy it from them. Don't bother me. This is my price.
But you did clear one thing up for me. I always wondered why it didn't take me long to purchase a firearm.
Uh-huh.
I have a carry concealed license, but I also have a hazmat license, which are both registered with the federal government.
Okay.
If I move tomorrow,
Uh-huh.
I got 10 days to change my gun license and my hazmat license, or I lose them.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So every move I make, I have to let the government know.
Oh, I see. Well, very good. Very good. Let me tell you another incident that I have had. I actually had a delay on a guy because he had the same name as some other person.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, same name. And so when that comes up in the FBI database, they're saying, okay, now who is who, and of course, part of on that 4473, they'll ask you for your social security number. And some people don't want to write down their social security. They think somebody's going to misuse their social security number. Now, I know there are a lot of criminals out here, and some people are really, really leery about writing down their social security number. And I try to reassure them and say, look, this is what I require of this form. I said, this is going to simplify the process when they start doing the background check. And some of them have said, well, I really don't want to give you my social security number. And I said, well, it's optional. You don't have to. They can still do a background check without your social security number. It just simplifies things, especially when they run into a situation where you've got two people with the same name. Other than that, anyway, getting back to what I was saying, HT asked, can it be lucrative? It can be lucrative if you're willing to do what it takes to become lucrative. Gentlemen, I'm a retired technician. I retired from AT&T. I worked 35 years for AT&T, and I've been doing this home-based business for, as I said, over 15 years. It's never been my main livelihood. Now, I'm going to say this. If I was depending on the gun business for my main livelihood, I would have starved to death. I would have starved to death because you're limited with family and friends, and I haven't done any advertising. Of course, if you're serious, you've got to put some money into your business. I have a manufacturer that if I spend a certain amount of money with them, they will let me list my products on their website. But you have to spend thousands of dollars with them in order to be able to do that. You have to be a certain level. You have to be a certain level of dealer in order to be able to do that. So, do you have any more questions?
Well, Mr. Barr, I have a question here. Now, we said that you don't need a CHL. Now, we know the CHL can be restricted from state to state as you travel, and you have to check with those states to make sure that you can carry within that state. But now with your FFL, do you have those same restrictions, or are there no restrictions for your FFL if you're traveling from state to state?
No, your FFL does not give you any more ability in terms of being able to travel it's from county to county, and as you say, from state to state. Usually, my rule of thumb is if I'm traveling with my family, I'll have a firearm with me. I don't care where I'm going. I don't care where I'm going. I don't even care what the law is, because I'm carrying my firearm to protect my family, and I'll have a firearm with me. But my FL has no bearing on that. That federal firearms license strictly gives you the ability to buy and sell, nothing else. It has no bearing on where you can carry a firearm.
All right.
Let's take one more question, gentlemen, because we're about out of time. Any more questions between Pastor Short and Brother Nikhil?
I'm good.
I'm good, but I'll say this. The pawn friend of mine told me he makes most of his money doing pawn shop. He says he makes more money selling used guns than he do new ones.
I can believe
There's
that.
a markup.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
Because if it's a $800 firearm, they probably only loan them $200 on it. So
Okay.
easy money.
Yes, sir. Yes, I can certainly see that. Again, see, your friend has a brick and mortar location. So he's in the pawn shop business. See, to make some real money, you're going to have a physical location. Doing it like I'm doing it as a home-based business, you know, you can make some money, but you're not gonna make a dent. You know, you can't survive if that's your only means of money. You're not gonna. I would say you're gonna probably starve to death. You probably get in the bread line or something somewhere.
Well, hey, gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for joining us. Mr. Bars, thank you so much for taking that time today, man.
You're welcome.
Join us and share this information. And thank you to my co-hosts, Greg Short and Nikhil Lewis, and everybody that's tuning in every Wednesday, 8 p.m. to The Real Man Talk. Thank you for joining. And please go to our YouTube channel, The Real Man Talk, and like and subscribe. Thank you all. I'll be seeing you next week.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.